welcome back to Devos with the Shefflins. And today we're following up on Uncle Alex's sermon about being chosen by God in 1 Peter chapter 1. And this is actually a biblical theme. God chooses people. Now, on the playground, I remember lining up, and people will have first captain and second captain, and they'll pick people for sports teams. And I was very competitive, and I always wanted to be picked, early. I wasn't the best player, so I knew I would never get picked first, because that's the way the playground works. It's whoever is the best football player, the best soccer player, always gets picked first. And if you're like me, sometimes that can get a little bit old. You wish you would get to pick first. But that's not how God works. God picks things backwards sometimes. He picked the Israelites as slaves out of Egypt, and he defeated the mighty Egyptians, who was the most powerful nation on earth, so that his glory would be shown. And he picked Jacob, the younger brother, over his brother Esau. He picked Joseph over his older brothers. So this is a theme that God does. And when God picks someone, it's not because they are so perfect or awesome. It's more to show his glory. And so God has chosen you. He chose you when Jesus died on the cross. Jesus chose each of us. He loves us so much, and he died just to save you. And so we're going to talk a little bit about what it means to be chosen. And the story we've picked does a pretty good job of illustrating it. And I hope it will also inspire your creativity to use Legos to tell some Bible stories. So we're going to share a song from Family Camp. I've got my Family Camp shirt here. And we'll sing it to you, and then we'll show you the Legos, and then we'll wrap things up. The Lord doesn't look at the things people look at. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. So God really values the heart. That's what he really cares about. And all of us can ask God to change our hearts so that we can be like his son. So let's watch the story unfold. 1 Samuel 15 and 16. And Samuel did not see Saul again until the day of his death. But Samuel grieved over Saul, and the Lord regretted that he had made Saul king over Israel. Then the Lord said to Samuel, "How long will you grieve over Saul, since I have rejected him from being king over Israel? Fill your horn with oil and go. I will send you to Jesse the Bethlehemite, for I have provided for myself a king among his sons." And Samuel said, "How can I go? If Saul hears it, he will kill me." And the Lord said, "Take a heifer with you, and say, I have come to sacrifice to the Lord. And invite Jesse to the sacrifice, and I will show you what you shall do. And you shall anoint for me him whom I declare to you." Samuel did what the Lord commanded and came to Bethlehem. So Samuel came to Bethlehem, and he invited Jesse and all his sons to the sacrifice. And Samuel brought his horn of oil. He said, "Jesse, I need to meet all your sons and have them pass before me." And Jesse's like, "Great, I've got lots of sons. I'd love for you to meet them all." So first, Eliab came forward. He was tall and handsome, and Samuel thought, surely the Lord will choose this one. And the Lord said, "No, this is not the one I have chosen." Eliab was not particularly happy about that judgment. And then Jesse called Aminadab forward. Here he comes. He's got such a nice jolly look on his face, but the Lord had not chosen him either. And that did not make him happy either. So one by one, just the rest of Jesse's sons came forward Son number 3, the Lord has not chosen him. And son number 4 came forward. He was handsome and debonair, but the Lord had not chosen him either. And son number 5, he had a sense of style, but the Lord had not chosen him either. Son number 6, surely this would be him, but no, the Lord has not chosen him. Finally, the 7th son came forward. He was a jolly fellow, but the Lord had not chosen him. And Samuel asked Jesse, "Do you not have any more sons?" "Well, there is the youngest, but he is watching the sheep." And Samuel said, "Go, get him, for we will not eat until he comes." So the servant went out to the field, and there was David. But just as he arrived, a bear was sneaking up on the sheep.
"Let go of my father's sheep!"
And with his slingshot, David slew the bear. After that dramatic moment, the servant said, "David, your presence is requested at by your father. Come in from the field, and I'll watch the sheep for you for a little while." So David left his sheep and ran into the sacrifice. Back at the sacrifice, the Lord spoke to Samuel and said, "He is the one. Anoint him as the next king of Israel." So Samuel anointed David as the next king of Israel. His brothers were not too pleased, as you can see by those scowls. They were both hungry, and they had not been chosen by the Lord. But David, though he was shorter than the rest for being so young, God had chosen him, and the Spirit of the Lord came upon David from that moment forward. For God had chosen the youngest. Well, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that Bible story told with Legos, and maybe you want to do your own Bible story, and you can video it and share it with others. So just to recap, God chooses us based on the quality of our heart, and also just because he loves us. We are chosen by him, and nothing that the world does or says about us can take that away. You have been chosen by God. So let's sing our song one more time. The Lord doesn't look at the things people look at. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. See you later.